Hey, hey, hey. How are you doing? Mm. Hey, I just wanted to check in with whoever. So I look really tired. I'm like not really even sleeping. I need to move into my next door bedroom because it's got like a better mattress and it's got insulation and it's got some blackout curtains because I look freaking tired, man. But I always do at this time in the month anyway. I just wanted to check in because I was really thinking about some. Like I was listening to David Icke yesterday, and he was being interviewed by somebody, but I don't recall all the details. I know her name was Danny something, and he was talking about survivor testimonies and about people that brought no evidence, and it really made me think about my position and how it's received by other people. And I thought, you know what, here's my reflections on this. Number one, let's start with the most important factor is in sharing my testimony, which is something I've done repeatedly here, particularly in the last 2 years. It is a big ask for me to ask whoever is party to that testimony to ask absolute belief from you. In fact, it's like unreasonable. It's really unreasonable to ask anybody to believe me on anything that I say. And I think that's true for everyone and everything that's ever said. Like, you cannot insist upon absolute, unquestionable faith from anybody on any matter, right? So, but I hope that I haven't shared my testimony for that reason. I hope that I've shared my testimony for my own sake. And I know that I've made mistakes, and I know that, honestly, what a lot of people don't know about me is that if I come online and I talk for half an hour, that may be the only half an hour of talking I did that day. And that would be true for most days, because since quite some time now, I just don't really pick up the phone. I find talking quite challenging. I find sitting on arthritis quite challenging. I find having metal in my pelvis really challenging. And so in some respects, I suppose, because it's like held back elsewhere, it comes out here. There are mistakes. There are times when I have used the wrong word and it changes the context and the meaning of a thing or whatever. But you shouldn't have to feel the need to have to believe me. And evidence-wise, like, honest to goodness, how am I supposed to bring evidence from things that I allege people did to me when I was like under the age of 10? So I find that really tricky, to say the least. Like, what evidence would you like? Because the likelihood of the yoga studio in London having records with Miss Maxwell's name on them as a visitor or a volunteer or even a member of staff from the 1980s, bearing in mind this is mid-1980s, before, did they even have stuff on computers at that time, or was it just like handwritten notes? The chances of like them having record of her visiting, volunteering or working for them is if they had them, I'm sure they don't now. But yeah, I just wanted to underline that feels like a really important point that David Icke has actually raised, where there's really no need to believe anything that I tell you at all. I mean, I have some extremely fringe beliefs. I believe that the universal house of justice is illegitimate without a guardian. And, the Baha'i religion is extremely small, not that well understood religion that's only been sort of functionally around since sort of like the 1950s from the century before. And that's like a fringe religion in itself. And then I'm no longer a member of that religion, but to hold the belief that the UHJ is illegitimate without a guardian, or that the Baha'i faith should have a continued guardianship, is an extremely fringe position, right? You might find maybe like 10 other people in the world that share that position. Seriously, like that's not even a made up thing. And I have every sympathy with people that would just, with the smallest amount of information, throw their hands up and say that's too much for me. What the fuck is this white rabbit thing? How does that relate to Q? Well, Q is a psyop. Q are known as a psyop that takes about 50% of the truth and then mixes it with about 50% of propaganda, or just like lying by omission, or saying things that are not true to get votes for President Dump. Honestly, and like, but I suppose like this world of child trafficking, human trafficking is really small, so there's bound to be overlap and comments from other people that are journalists or other survivors, other witnesses, researchers. Like, people will have opinions, and as far as I understand about Baha'i teachings, that's your God-given first principle right to believe what you want to believe. And I mean, yeah, there are fundamentals. One God, religion is one, the prophets are one. That's a fundamental truth that might be considered foundational. Because I do struggle to see where people are kind of behaving themselves if they haven't got a legitimate motivation, like the love of God, based upon some scriptural reference. And obviously there are always going to be exceptions and things, but generally people find faith because they picked up a book, it resonated with them, they heard it, and they decide to live their best life because of this love of God. I don't know if like there is anywhere the other motivation. Otherwise, to succeed in this world, you may as well lie, steal, hate, you know. That's how you get it on in this world. So otherwise, seems like, motivationally speaking, people try and do the right thing because they have like this basis of belief that there's one God, that humanity is one. And like, I don't think these can be written off as just mere philosophy. Like it's, oh, this is just philosophy, blah, 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 like. But yeah, the survivor world's really small, actually, because it's so interconnected. Like, think about, I made actually 2 police reports in my life regarding CSA. One was in, forgive me, it was 2015 or 2016, I'm not sure. And one in 2021. As far as I know, neither of those reports even like have crime reference numbers or anything. And I wonder how many other people that's happened to. That in the first case, I was just told there was no evidence, they couldn't proceed. They couldn't speak to one of the perpetrators that I alleged because they don't live in this country anymore, they live overseas. So they dropped it, but there's no crime reference number available for that. I was told that by a police officer on 101, that there's just, I gave them the dates, an accurate date at that time on the call, and where I given a statement. And they said, there's no crime reference number for this, you're not coming up on the system at all. How many people has that happened to, where their reports just kind of disappear? Because if they were all looked at side by side, they would join the whole web together. Because the rate of conviction for historical CSA is so minuscule, it's so freaking small. And that's inconsiderate of people that have reported. Because it's one thing to report a crime, then is it out of your hands now? What do you, like, I'm not able to go to court for, I mean, maybe if it was down the line, it could be different. Is it like, I'm not sure if this is accurate, but 0.01% or 1% maybe conviction rate for historic CSA. And I think in most cases anyway, like by the time you've been able to look at your memories, that the perpetrators are often dead by that point. So maybe it is like trying to obscure this kind of network of people. Anyway, this is all a bit heavy, man. I feel like it's important to say that. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, I look like I have mouse teeth, like, you know, like Ronald the rat teeth. Let's just talk about normal stuff. I'm really hot in my chucky bottoms, actually. They are cotton, but whew, it's really warm here today. I'm just walking around with all my metal in me. It's painful, man. Having me old time in the month. It would be nice to get the ovaries removed, honestly, and I just won't go through the unholy trinity of AS arthritis in my sacrum, assumed KEDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and the endometriosis plus the metal, which hurts every day of my menstrual cycle. But they all come together in this beautiful, well, it's not, it's horrible, it's very boring, and I can't walk very easily or very far, and it's not very nice having it all put down to something wrong with my brain. Like, that's insane, man. Something wrong with your brain. Right, I feel like that's all I need to say, honestly. Let's try and turn the camera around to have a look at the park, though. Ooh, fly in my face. So, yeah, evidence and belief. And, well, look, if anything, yeah, it really is my age at the time that is a bullshit. And I don't know that any of this ever would have come here on live streams anyway if it wasn't for the fact that I only identified her in 2020, because I just didn't know anything about Pizzagate before 2020. And then that following the looking into Pizzagate is what led me to obviously see a picture of herself with him. And then I knew who they were. Like, I'd met them. I know who she fucking is. Like, I've met the bitch. And now I don't think it's her. I don't think that's her in prison when that person was talking. What was that, like going back to February or March now? That doesn't look like Ghislaine. That's not Ghislaine. Her whole posture is different. Everything just looks different about her. She probably dead, honestly. I think she's been moved on. So it's a pretty nice park, isn't it? Yeah, no, I feel like this mostly for me, really, this whole live streaming malarkey. Is it not? Is this not? Because I don't really have anyone else to talk to, and I find it a bit difficult to talk to people. I don't know. Hi. Do I like energy drinks? I think they're really bad, aren't they? And they're not. There's a video going around of a chap with a Red Bull and alkaline water, and then he puts drops in it so you can see the change in colour, and purple is alkaline and orange or red is really acidic. And the Red Bull is so acidic that when you just add a few drops of it to the alkalized water, it completely made the whole thing acidic. And I think they're really addictive. And so no, I'm not really a fan. I think they probably shouldn't even be sold. They're probably that dangerous that they shouldn't even be on the shelf. And I have to, as I'm saying this, I have to discipline myself not to purchase them, because I really don't think they're any good for me at all. The yarn bombing Hertford group's been busy making these cute, super cute things. We'll go and find more of them if you want. It's all you UB40 reject. Well, to be honest, no, I don't really want to drag this out. I just wanted to acknowledge that it's a massive ask. It's an unreasonable ask to expect any number of people to just believe my testimony. Like, no, that is not necessary. Look after each other. That is the most thing. Look after yourself, look after each other. Don't you worry about me. You can worry about me all you want, but so yeah, thanks David Icke for bringing up that point, because I think it's really important. But just, you know, look at the survivor testimonies as a whole, like as a broad overview. You know, it is really difficult to substantiate claims. There's plenty of people, survivors' testimonies you could say that about, that is really difficult to substantiate claims, and definitely never been my intention to muddy the waters, quote unquote. No, I can appreciate how it's difficult for people when they go, what the F is this white rabbit thing? I mean, run, rabbit. Whee! But I think I'm going to go home. Am I a good hostess? Or shall I stay? Praise on a rug. Who's praying on a rug? Who's praying on a rug? What do you mean, praying on a rug? What am I going at 100 miles an hour? That'd be great if I had a top speed of 100 miles an hour, wouldn't it? Show door number or skin. I love these comments. Bless me, bless ya. Yeah, I don't know. Should I stay? Am I a good hostess? Because I don't really. I'm going to stay because there's people here, I suppose. But I'm a bit lost about what to do. Oh look, I found a pallet. I don't really know what to offer people. Yeah, don't let me take up any more of your attention than is necessary. In fact, that's probably a good way to move on here, right? Don't let me take up any more of your attention than is necessary. You have yourselves to look after. You have each other to look after. Only person I'm worried about on a 24/7 basis is my daughter Amy. Her diet, her medical care. What has happened to me should not be repeated with Amy. She was clearly born with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I'm going to repeat that. And my daughter was clearly born with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I am not imagining it. I live with real pain. I live with chronic pain. Just saying, that is a recognised disability. I don't need to make it up. I wouldn't live the way I live if I was making it up. It's very, as you know, it's so difficult when I consider that, because it's one thing to believe someone or to say like you don't have to believe, but disbelieving, that seems a bit far, really. Like, because I would be a complete narcissist if this was all made up, but it's not. So what happened to me should not happen to her. She deserves the right diagnoses for a start. Please, God. Check out this massive thing on the top of the theatre. It just sits there, doesn't it? I bet that could just broadcast an entire town to have a certain mood with tech like that, I think. Via the routers and everything. Oh, bye. Yeah. Okay, well then that's my time. Take care. Bye. Look after yourselves. Right? Adios.